The video shows cops recording a residential street. But what is going on here, and why is the officer recording everything? Stay tuned to find out. Later, it was revealed that the video showed undercover cops correcting pedestrian offenses and investigating a case. James McLennis, who operates the Pinellas County Sheriff's Channel, provided the content. The interaction involved several deputies from the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office parked on a residential street while conducting an investigation near a nearby residence.
Just all the undercover police cars. Police sheriffs at this house. Undercover.
I don't know, take a video of
And-
that like that.
And this one here does not look like a police vehicle.
McLennis begins recording the interaction as he walks in the middle of the street, arguing that there are no sidewalks and that the officers have blocked the side of the road. He further tells an officer that engaging in the act of recording a video in this situation falls under the protection of the First Amendment, as it is considered a constitutionally protected activity.
Hey, sir. You know what else says that? ID on you?
I don't need ID.
Yes, you do need ID.
No, I don't need to ID.
If you're coming into the middle of our investigation, you do.
Actually, this is the middle of the street, and I'm
And
walking
you're
on a
not
public
supposed
street.
to be in the middle of the street,
Yeah.
so that's a violation.
Actually, there's no sidewalks here, so it's not.
You cannot be in the middle of the street.
Well, you notice you're blocking the way on the side of the street.
All right, let me get a pad. You have ID at all?
During the encounter, McLennis asserts that he's not required to provide identification to the officers. However, the officers argue that since he is intervening in the middle of their investigation, he must provide identification. McLennis counters their claim by stating he's simply walking along a public street, which lacks sidewalks. He points out that he's not obstructing traffic since there is ample space on the side of the street.
I don't have to show ID. I have not committed a crime.
Did you drive here?
No.
But you have to ID who you are.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Under Florida statutes, we're not an ID upon demand state.
McLennis maintains that he is not obligated to present ID since he's not committed any crime. However, the officer insists that McLennis must provide identification, even questioning if he drove to the location. McLennis continues to assert his position, stating he is not legally required to provide identification, citing that Florida statutes do not classify the state as an ID upon demand jurisdiction.
Am I being detained?
I said I was getting my notepad. Hey. Are you writing them a ticket? No, notepad. You do understand when there's not a sidewalk, there's a certain direction that you need to ride. You need to walk on the street, right? You can't just walk down the middle.
Well, when you have all the cars blocking the side of the road, it makes it kind of difficult.
Okay, well, guess what, Perry Mason? Since you're so good on the
What's-
First
are you a
Amendment and the
police officer?
Constitution and all that-
As another officer joins the conversation, they inquire whether McLennis intends to issue a ticket. They then explain that when there's no sidewalk available, there is a specific direction for pedestrians to walk onto the street, emphasizing that walking in the middle is not permissible. McLennis responds by highlighting the challenge of following the designated walking direction when all the cars are blocking the side of the road.
You're so good on the
What's-
First
are you a
Amendment and the
police officer?
Constitution and all that.
I'm asking you to
Read the
identify yourself.
statutes. Excuse me?
I'm asking you to identify yourself. Are you a police officer?
Yes, I am.
Can you please give me your name and badge number?
No.
Are you refusing to identify yourself?
What, is there a Florida state statute that says I must?
I think it's are you a Pinellas County Sheriff?
Yes, I am.
McLennis requests the officer to identify themselves by providing their name and badge number. The officer declines to comply with the request. McLennis then questions whether the officer is refusing to identify themselves and asks if there's a Florida state statute that mandates such identification. The officer suggests that it is likely the case, but McLennis inquires specifically about the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office policy regarding citizen requests for officer identification. The officer does not provide a clear response.
How am I supposed to file a complaint against you?
Okay. What do you want to file a complaint
No.
for? 'Cause if you want it, I'll give it to you.
I do want it. I've
Okay,
asked for
but
it.
let me finish my train of thought
Go
first
ahead.
before you interrupt me with all your Perry Mason stuff.
McLennis continues to express his frustration and asks the officer how he's supposed to file a complaint if needed. The officer responds by asking for clarification on the reason for the complaint. The officer then asks McLennis if he understands that there is a Florida state statute prohibiting walking in the middle of the road, seeking a simple yes or no answer to his question. As the two other officers join the conversation, they question McLennis' statement that they are not blocking the road. McLennis responds by reiterating that the officers are obstructing the pathway on the side of the road.
How are we blocking you?
Exactly.
You
Okay,
are
I guess
blocking
that
the
pretty much answers your
pathway on
question,
the side of
doesn't
the road.
What can I do to help
This
you?
is the intimidation that the Pinellas County Sheriffs try and use if you exercise your First Amendment activity.
No,
They surround
actually,
you, accuse you of crimes, refuse to identify
It's not a
themselves,
crime, it's a
intimidate
civil
yourself.
infraction.
Why aren't you continuing with your investigation? Why are you out here bothering me?
He suggests that this behavior is an attempt by the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office to intimidate individuals who exercise their First Amendment rights. McClinnis further asserts that the officers surround individuals, accuse them of crimes, and refuse to identify themselves, creating an environment of intimidation.
Here, it's not a pedestrian violation, but nice try.
You're right. You're the expert. You know, I've only spent 20 years doing this job. You're the expert, though, right?
After 20 years, you still
What
think it's
exactly
necessary?
statute is it? Do you know what statute
After
it is?
20 years, you think it's actually necessary to come out in the street and bother people who are walking by?
You can't walk in the middle of the road.
And when
Yeah.
you have the street blocked,
Street's
the
not
side
blocked.
of the road blocked,
Street's not blocked.
you have the side of the road blocked.
Street's not blocked.
Sir,
Yeah,
Street's not
shine,
blocked.
shine your phone that way because I want to make sure that you see this as well, that this is on video.
yeah, I'll shine the phone.
So from here all the way through, past the area that you actually walk through,
McClinnis questions why the officers are bothering him instead of continuing with their investigation. He asserts he was simply walking with his camera in front of him and questions if the officers have an issue with that.
see this as well, that this is on video.
Yeah, I'll shine the phone.
So from here all the way through, past the area that you actually walk through, the street is not blocked.
This
The
side of the street
vehicles
is
are on the
blocked.
curb, but you actually walk. So how is that actually blocking
This side of the street is
streets?
blocked.
Okay.
McClinnis argues there was no civil infraction committed on his part, emphasizing that walking in the middle of the road is not a pedestrian violation when the side of the road is blocked and there are no sidewalks available.
By walking down the middle of the street and
Is there
conducting a
anything
First
else that you
Amendment
would like to
activity,
talk about? Is there anything else you would like
I
to
didn't
talk
want
about?
to talk to you, any of you, in the first place.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You can leave now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
The officer sarcastically remarks that McClinnis must be the expert, despite their 20 years of experience on the job. McClinnis responds by pointing out that even after 20 years, the officer still believes it is necessary to come out onto the street and bother people who are merely walking by. As another officer approaches McClinnis, they ask him to shine his phone in a particular direction to show him that the street's not blocked beyond the area where he walked. The officer argues that since McClinnis walked on the curb, it did not hinder the side of the street. McClinnis reiterates there are no sidewalks available, emphasizing the lack of an alternative path. The officer responds by stating McClinnis is impeding their ongoing investigation.
I still can't walk down this side of the street,
Asked you and told you to leave. Leave now.
so I have to leave the street.
Leave this investigation right now.
So where is the investigation? Where's the blue line? Is it over here? Is it over here? Is it over here? Is she impeding the investigation too? I'm just curious.
McClinnis insists he still cannot walk on the side of the street. He questions the whereabouts of the investigation and sarcastically asks if the blue line indicating police presence extends to different areas. The implication is that the officers are unnecessarily impeding his right to walk freely. Mr. McClinnis continues to videotape the police vehicles as he carefully left the location, having no further problems. He then attempted to register complaints against the deputies involved. Mr. McClinnis started the process by requesting public documents to find out who the deputies were. Unfortunately, his request was refused, and the needed information was not given to him. On July 20th, 2022, an auditor from the Clear Lake Community Watch, who will be referred to as Mr. Clear Lake, was driving past Deputy C. Vega of the Harris County Sheriff's Office as the deputy was conducting a traffic stop in Seabrook, Texas. Mr. Clear Lake rolled down his window and yelled an anti-police sentiment, including profanity, at Deputy Vega as he drove by. In response to this incident, Deputy Vega abandoned the ongoing traffic stop, got back onto his vehicle, made a U-turn, and began to follow Mr. Clear Lake. Mr. Clear Lake, acting responsibly, properly signaled and made a right turn, prompting Deputy Vega to activate his lights in an attempt to pull him over. In compliance with the signal, Mr. Clear Lake immediately pulled into a nearby gas station and brought his vehicle to a stop.
Why do you pull me over?
I'll tell you that if you roll it down.
Why can't you tell me now?
Because the reason I pulled you over is you were yelling something from your car.
So what?
Huh?
So what? That's why you pull me over, because I'm
Because
yelling.
I don't know if you're in need of help or anything.
Oh, I don't need help.
So,
Thank you.
Okay, let me see your driver's license real quick.
I don't need help.
Deputy Vega asserted that he stopped Mr. Clear Lake's vehicle due to Mr. Clear Lake's yelling from the window. Nevertheless, Deputy Vega clarified that his primary concern was for Mr. Clear Lake's well-being, rather than taking offense at the content of his speech. It's worth noting that the First Amendment prohibits government officials from engaging in retaliatory measures against individuals for their protected expression. In this situation, it is undeniably evident that Mr. Clear Lake was involved in protected activity, as protected by the Supreme Court's long-standing recognition of profanity as protected speech under the First Amendment. Deputy Vega himself acknowledged that he initiated the traffic stop because of Mr. Clear Lake's yelling from the window. However, it remains uncertain whether a court would conclude that undergoing a traffic stop resulting in a warning without any citation or arrest would be considered an injury that could deter an individual of ordinary resilience from continuing to engage in the same expressive activity. In the 2012 case of Simmons versus City of Mahmoud, it was stated that not all instances of police detention would deter an individual of ordinary resilience from exercising their protected rights.
You can just crack your window if that's what you want to do.
It's already cracked.
I can't see that.
Well,
This thing.
it doesn't matter. Here. I don't wish to answer questions.
You have to let me know if there's a weapon in the car. Did you not take the class?
I did.
Did they tell you you have to tell them?
When you demand identification, I have to display this. That's what they told me in the class. That's what the law says.
The officer wants to take the
And
weapon.
actually, if I don't display, there's really not much you can do because there is no penalty attached to that. I have to carry this if I'm carrying this.
Are you carrying?
I don't answer questions.
Okay, so if you have a weapon in the car, then what?
Consequently, there exists the possibility that a court might find Mr. Clearlake unable to pursue a First Amendment retaliation claim, despite Deputy Vega's evident retaliatory intent when initiating the traffic stop. However, the likelihood is much higher that Mr. Clearlake could succeed in a claim asserting Deputy Vega's violation of his Fourth Amendment rights by initiating the traffic stop without reasonable suspension or probable cause. Mr. Clearlake, who had a holstered firearm on his right hip, presented both his driver's license and his license to carry as requested by Deputy Vega. However, when asked by Deputy Vega about the presence of a handgun in the car, Mr. Clearlake declined to answer. As per Section 46.02 of the Texas Penal Code, it is considered an offense if a person intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly carries a handgun in a motor vehicle in plain view, except if the person is 21 years of age or older or possesses a valid handgun carry license and the handgun is properly holstered.
What is your name? Your name? Sheriff? That's your name? Sheriff?
Right above it, right there. You see it?
I'm not familiar with the English alphabet, sir.
Be on the ticket.
Okay. Can I have an incident number, please? Oh, a ticket. A ticket, okay.
When Deputy Vega asked for identification, Mr. Clearlake adhered to the statute's requirements, and it was not necessary for him to respond to any further inquiries from Deputy Vega concerning the potential presence of a handgun in the vehicle. Policy 302 of the Harris County Sheriff's Department Handbook establishes guidelines for what is considered professional conduct among deputies and other HCSO employees. This policy imposes an obligation on them to provide official identification when required. Upon Deputy Vega's notification that the traffic stop had concluded, he directed Mr. Clearlake to remain inside his vehicle. Although Mr. Clearlake opened the door, he showed no signs of attempting to exit. As a response to this action, Deputy Vega drew his weapon.
Did I exit the vehicle? Did I exit the vehicle?
Give you a heads up.
Did I exit the vehicle? Hey, can I? You do have a dashcam, right? Very good. You can't just pull me over because I said the police. I hope you realize that, stupid. I'm sorry?
Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah,
Can you show it to me, please? It doesn't come back.
of course it comes back.
Not on my system, it doesn't. Also, it's not typical behavior.
According to the policy, deputies can ready their weapons when approaching potentially dangerous situations, but displaying or pointing firearms in a threatening manner is only permitted when objectively reasonable. Deputy Vega's actions removing the firearm when Mr. Clearlake opened the vehicle door might be justified due to potential concerns.
Did you read my address on the driver
It
license?
didn't have an address. It didn't have an apartment number on your driver's
Of course it does.
Let me see. Can you verify?
You've already seen it. I've already complied with that part.
I know. Okay, I'll be right back. And I say that I've never met anybody quite like you that would yell at an officer doing their job, but
So,
you have a great
let
day.
me
There's no
understand.
warning, no fines, no penalties.
May I ask you a question?
There's questions on there. There's the address.
Yeah,
There's
no, I
the,
have a
there's
question.
an incident
Can you
number
get
on
your
the thing right
supervisor here, please?
No,
Is the stop over?
the stop is over. You may leave.
All right.
Please don't exit until I get out. Until I leave.
Well, you said the stop is over, right?
There is no indication that Mr. Clearlake had received any materials from the public records request. Additionally, he has expressed his intention to file a complaint and a lawsuit.
For what? Fail to signal with turn indicator within 100 feet. Drew the weapon on me. He drew the gun.
In conclusion, Deputy Vega's actions are heavily criticized, earning him an F grade for retaliating against Mr. Clearlake, who is exercising his First Amendment rights. The initiation of a traffic stop without reasonable suspicion and unnecessary brandishing of his firearm are the specific reasons for this criticism. Now, moving to the next one. On February 8, 2023, a fire broke out in the quadplex apartment of college student Taylor Brown, situated in Normal, Illinois. Following the incident, both fire officials and police officers from the Normal Police Department arrived at the scene. At the request of the officers, Ms. Brown agreed to be taken to Normal Police Station for questioning. However, after waiting for more than 40 minutes without being interviewed, Ms. Brown asked to be taken back home. The subsequent interaction between Ms. Brown and the officers was recorded by an unknown officer's body camera.
Who are you on your phone with? So we're going to have to seize your phone, so go ahead and hang up.
Seize my phone for what?
Go ahead and hang up.
Why?
Go ahead and hang up.
They want to seize my phone, but I'm not under arrest for it.
You're not under arrest, but your phone's going to be seized.
No.
You're gonna hang up the phone.
I seize my phone, but I'm not in custody.
So listen.
There's three of them all around me.
So listen.
FaceTime me for a second.
You listen for a second. So the fire is going to be under investigation.
That's fine.
Okay, and we're going to seize your phone.
Why?
Because the fire is under investigation.
I need to know what my.
So you can hand me the phone, or I can take the phone.
But I need to know what my phone's being. They're not telling me a reason why my phone.
I just did.
But you said it's under investigation, which I.
So listen to me. The fire.
That's her phone.
So the fire is going to be under investigation, and your phone's going to be seized.
The officers informed Ms. Brown that her phone was being seized due to the ongoing investigation of the fire in her apartment. Typically, in compliance with the Fourth Amendment's protection against unreasonable seizures, the government is required to obtain a warrant based on probable cause before legally seizing an individual's personal property, including their cell phone. In this particular situation, it remains unclear what evidence the officers had, if any, to suggest that Ms. Brown's phone contained pertinent information regarding the fire. However, according to a lawsuit filed by Ms. Brown regarding this incident, the officers attempted to secure a search warrant for her phone after its seizure, but the warrant was not approved by the state's attorney.
Hang up the phone and they're going to take the phone, because at this point I'm being threatened.
It's not a threat. I've asked you several times, and you're just going to go back and forth with me.
A reason as to why my phone is being taken.
So the fire is going to be under investigation by the fire department. So stop. Don't interrupt me. So don't interrupt me. The fire is going to be under investigation.
Don't ever tell me not to interrupt you, and I'll be as calm.
So the phone's going to be seized. So in a second, I'm going to take it.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you a reason. I'm not being rebuttal. I'm asking you a reason.
So if you would like to talk to the detective, you can. Do you wish to talk to him?
Yeah, but
do you want to give an interview?
No, I wanted to ask him why my phone's being seized, because she said she could take me home, but without my phone. That doesn't make sense.
After law enforcement officers have lawfully obtained a cell phone, the concern of the arrestee potentially deleting incriminating data from the phone is eliminated. However, it is crucial to note that even under these circumstances, the officers are still not permitted to search the contents of the phone without obtaining a warrant, unless a court has explicitly authorized such a search. The officers made an effort to seize Miss Brown's phone, and when she resisted by pulling away, they responded by forcing her to the ground in an attempt to take the phone from her possession. Using physical force against an individual who poses no verbal or physical threat in an attempt to seize property that is lawfully in their possession would constitute a violation of their constitutional rights. However, if the individual is found to be resisting, officers may be allowed to use reasonable force based on specific circumstances. At the time of the officer's attempt to seize Miss Brown's phone, she was not under arrest, so any potential charges would likely fall under the obstruction subsection.
Are you going to talk to the detective?
As a matter of fact, are you recording this?
Are you going to talk to the detective and provide an interview? Yes or no?
Is that with or without the phone?
Without the phone. The phone's being seized. Are you talking to the detective or no? I don't know. That's not my question.
I need an answer to that before I get.
So the question is, are you going to provide an interview?
No.
No? Okay. Go ahead and hand me the phone.
I have to know if my phone is being seized.
Go ahead and hand me the phone. Do not kick. Okay, push your legs out. Stop. Relax. Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I promise.
Relax.
Mom, I'm not letting go. I
Relax.
promise.
We just want your phone. That's it.
We just want your phone.
They're trying to give me no protection.
Assuming that the officers lack the reasonable suspicion required to seize Miss Brown's cell phone without a warrant, it's also probable that a court would conclude she could not be convicted of resisting an unauthorized act by a police officer. Once Miss Brown was placed in handcuffs and helped to stand up, the officers informed her that they would be charging her with resisting an aggravated battery of a police officer. The Appellate Court of Illinois utilized a similar statute that allowed the use of force to prevent unlawful entries into one's dwelling, resulting in the defendant's battery conviction being overturned. The court found that the defendant's actions were based on a reasonable belief that her conduct was necessary to terminate the officer's unlawful entry into her dwelling, and her limited use of force was deemed justified. Applying a similar logic in Miss Brown's case, where she may argue that she used force to protect her personal property, it's conceivable that she could potentially be acquitted of any battery charges brought against her. After her arrest, Miss Brown was taken to McLean County Jail and was subsequently released at approximately 1 p.m. the following day. Interestingly, she was not charged with resisting, battery, or any other offense related to the altercation at the police station or the fire incident at her apartment. The officers returned Miss Brown's phone to her around 3:30 p.m., several hours after her release on February 23, 2023. In response to the incident, Miss Brown filed a federal lawsuit against the unidentified normal officers involved, alleging false arrest, excessive force, failure to intervene, and battery. As of now, the lawsuit's still awaiting resolution. In summary, the normal Illinois officers received a failing grade, as it is highly probable that they seized Miss Brown's phone without the necessary probable cause and also used unnecessary force when she refused to allow them to take her phone without a warrant. Additionally, the arrest of Miss Brown resulted in charges that were eventually found to be baseless. Now let's move to the next and last case of today's video. On February 9, 2023, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine conducted a press conference at an elementary school in East Palestine, Ohio, to provide updates regarding the derailment of a train carrying toxic chemicals. During this time, News Nation correspondent Evan Lambert was in the back of the gymnasium, filming a pre-scheduled live update while Governor DeWine was speaking at the front. Two members of the Ohio State Highway Patrol and the Ohio National Guard's Major General John Harris Jr. approached Mr. Lambert and requested him to halt the broadcast, citing his alleged loudness. The ensuing interaction was captured by the body camera of one of the Highway Patrol troopers, although there is no available audio recording. Despite the absence of sound recording during the initial part of the interaction, the footage reveals an argument between Mr. Lambert and Major General Harris. Subsequently, Major General Harris is seen pushing Mr. Lambert. Following the incident, Mr. Lambert alleges that Major General Harris assaulted him, while Major General Harris claims he felt threatened. However, it is essential to acknowledge that this explanation seems to contradict the body camera footage, which shows Major General Harris as the instigator of the altercation and does not display any physically aggressive behavior from Mr. Lambert. Sheriff Brian McLaughlin of the Columbiana County Sheriff's Office instructs Mr. Lambert to depart from the area. In response, Mr. Lambert clarifies that he is attempting to listen to the press briefing and carry out his job, emphasizing that his actions are protected by the First Amendment.
Go. Just talk outside. Come out the doors. Out the doors. Out the doors.
By other media right here. I'm going to listen.
I don't care. You're going to walk out the door.
I'm going to listen.
You're going to walk
Do
out the door.
not touch me.
Come on out, sir. You're going to walk out the door. Or you're going to jail.
Do not touch me.
Sir, can we talk outside, please?
I am trying to listen.
Outside, please.
And he escalated with me. I am doing my job. This is covered by the First Amendment.
The First Amendment of the United States Constitution explicitly prohibits Congress from creating any laws that would restrict the freedom of the press. Courts have interpreted this clause to safeguard not only the press's right to publish news, but also their right to gather and acquire newsworthy information. In this particular case, the court made a definitive differentiation between the circumstances of that case and the current situation.
Oh, sir.
This is bad. Stop.
I am on the ground. Okay,
Stop resisting. Stop.
You are under arrest.
Oh my God. Stop. You should get this.
Resist.
This is so bad.
Lay flat, please.
You guys, he's a national correspondent. You cannot do this.
I'm a reporter with News Nation. It's all being recorded right now.
I hope it is.
Excessive force because you can't talk to people about doing their jobs.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this.
This is what it's like to be a black reporter in
Evan, I'm so
2023.
sorry. Evan, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Sia.
Pull over, sir.
The court emphasized that the mayor did not withhold access to information that was commonly available to other media representatives or prevent the reporter from participating in press conferences. In this scenario, Mr. Lambert's reporting did not seem to cause any disruption, as Governor DeWine mentioned that he was unaware of the incident, only hearing about the disagreement that occurred after the troopers and Major General Harris approached Mr. Lambert.
You record all that.
I did, sir. You want me to shut off?
No, you can keep recording. We just need to make sure that no one else comes in here that's not authorized.
Rudeness or disrespect.
Hello.
or anything. We've been waiting for.
In his statement, Governor DeWine acknowledged that reporters possess the full right to report during press briefings. Mr. Lambert could assert a compelling argument that his First Amendment rights were infringed upon by being excluded from the press conference, considering that he was merely performing his job as a reporter.
It's the worst possible time in the world, okay? But there's nothing that we can do about that. He's committed to doing his live show. He's got people talking to him. He doesn't know whether.
Upon Mr. Lambert's refusal to leave the press conference, East Palestine Detective Daniel Howder and Columbiana County Chief Deputy Jennifer Tucker notify him of his arrest. Subsequently, when he appears to make a slight attempt to move away from the officers, they take action and force him to the ground before handcuffing him.
Comes over and says, "I don't want you here." Okay.
He still refused to
I
leave.
didn't.
So
witness
now
it.
he's arrested.
I didn't witness anything.
That's his own fault. He's arrested. All he had to do was pipe up.
I didn't.
And he just kept
all
arguing.
I'm telling you is from the television standpoint of.
Later in the episode, the matter of whether the officers possess sufficient probable cause to arrest Mr. Lambert will be addressed. If a court were to determine that the arrest was legally justified, there exists the possibility that Mr. Lambert could face a conviction for resisting arrest, even if he were to be acquitted of the trespassing charge. Despite the charges against Mr. Lambert being dropped, no information has been provided regarding any disciplinary measures against the involved officers, including Major General Harris. It remains unclear whether Mr. Lambert or News Nation intends to pursue legal action against any of the parties involved. On the whole, the numerous officers involved receive criticism, as they are likely to have infringed upon Mr. Lambert's First Amendment rights by unjustly excluding him from a public press conference, arresting him for refusing to relinquish those rights, and employing unnecessary force during his arrest and initial disagreement with Major General Harris.